Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pits of Motor Chaos. This is your host, Dave. I got a line special guest, fuel alter driver Randy Bradford. How you doing, Randy?
Hey, I'm doing terrific.
That's great to hear. So how'd you do this year with the fuel altered, Randy?
We did pretty well. We didn't break anything major, and that's a real positive sign. So we ran some match races and ran a bunch of sub 640s, and that's good for us.
So how many events did you do altogether?
7. We were able to run Pomona at the Winter Nationals and the 4 wide at Las Vegas, and then we went back to Bowling Green, Columbus, Maryland, and Boise. Finished off with the Hot Rod reunion.
Then how'd you do at the Hot Rod reunion?
We qualified number 4 out of 10 cars. So we came back Sunday and ran the Chicago style. Really wasn't happy with the performance, and we're trying to dig into why. But we'll get it ironed out.
Yeah, you'll get it ironed out and ready for next season.
Yep. Next season looks pretty good.
You already have some events scheduled for next year?
We don't have anything firm, but it looks like we're pretty much going to do the same thing we did in 2018. There's been some interest about maybe going back to Europe again, and so we're all into that. We'll see if that works out.
That'll be nice.
We really enjoyed 2016 in England and Germany, and if we do next year in Europe, we may be able to add Sweden into that. So, what a great way to go on a vacation, huh?
Oh yeah, definitely. Going on vacation plus doing something else you love doing, drag racing while you're on vacation. Yeah.
Absolutely, and let me tell you, the folks that came to see us and other nostalgia venues in Europe really understand and appreciate the fuel altereds, and gosh, we made a lot of really great friends.
Yeah, it's always nice to make new friends and fans.
Yep, sure is.
So Randy, let me ask you this: how did your whole career begin in drag racing?
It's all my dad's fault.
It usually is.
Yeah. Well, my dad was a dry lakes racer, like El Mirage in 40s and 50s, and did some street racing in his old flathead roadster, and then we had an auto parts store and an automotive machine shop, and so it just I fell into it naturally.
So what was the first car you drag raced in?
Well, I actually didn't even have my driver's license yet. I was 15, and I drove a 40 Ford pickup with a 327 Chevy 4-speed old rear end, and later I actually drove that to high school.
So besides the pickup truck, after the pickup truck, how many vehicles have you drag raced in?
Oh, actually not that many. We started out in the 40 Ford pickup, and then we only ran that for 4 or 5 months and decided to be serious about drag racing, and we had a 55 Chevy that we ran C gas with, and I drove that for a couple of years, and then I started actually driving the Fiat when I was 18, and so really there's only been 3 cars.
So now the Fiat, it's all nitro?
Yeah, actually injected nitro. That's how we started out in 1966. Ran it for about a year and a half on injected. And then we kept doing very well, actually, with it. We were runner-up 3 times in a row at Orange County against all the blown cars. And the manager of Orange County Raceway said, don't bring it back. I'm paying for blown cars. And so we're not going to let you in the program unless you got a supercharger on it. So that kind of forced us into a supercharger. And at that time, we ran a 427 Chevy on nitro.
So let me ask you this, Randy. What was it like for you to, for the first time driving a nitro car? How was the experience like?
Well, it definitely made me a little nervous, but hey, when you're 18, you're kind of crazy, I think, and I never figured out that the gas pedal comes back. I always figured it just once it went down, it stayed down. And used to get myself in a little trouble with my dad, but I always said when the parachute comes out and straightens it out, what's the problem?
Yeah, so what's the quickest VT you've had with the fuel altered?
618, 237.
And where was it? What track was that at?
That was at the ET at Martin, Michigan, and the Speed at Bakersfield.
Nice.
Love Martin, Michigan. That's a fine racetrack there.
Yeah, and I just saw that funny car cast they're doing Martin, Michigan next year.
Oh, great. That's like I said, that track is awesome. There's some really good tracks out there, Martin and of course Bakersfield's kind of with the hot rod reunions and Bowling Green. Bowling Green's a really good one too.
Yeah, that's what I've heard from a lot of drivers. So now, besides your dad being a big influence on you, were there any other drag races out there that influenced you?
Oh gosh, there's a lot, really a lot. There's some really fine people out drag racing, and I had the fortune. I was very fortunate to work for Keith Black for a couple of years, and I'll tell you, as a person, as a mentor, he's number one. Quite a guy.
Yes. Now. Yeah, go ahead.
And of course, my dad. I mean, we were partners in this thing up till 4 years ago when he passed away, and he was 84 years old and just bright as can be, and still tuned the car and ran the valves, and right up till he passed away.
Well, he's still looking down on you every time you're on the track now.
Yeah, he is. I can still see him smiling